A very good day to the Honorable Judges. My name is Aishwarya, daughter of Narayanan, as the main inventor. Together with me, the co-inventors, Dr. Jun Hasina binti Haji Sharifuddin, Dr. Muhammad Faisal binti Ali, and Mr. Abdullah Naeem. I'm from the College of Engineering under the course of Chemical Engineering. Would like to present the invention of waste cooking oil as a degradation agent of color in wastewater. So for the introduction, we have the research background, the motivation and problem statement, objectives, and the scopes of study. So the background of study shows the utilization of waste palm cooking oil and also sulfur to synthesize polysulfide via inverse vulcanization method. So for the problem statement, abundance of waste cooking oil pollutes the environment with offensive odor and also kills aquatic life when it meets with water. So the wastewater discharged from dyeing process exhibit biological oxygen demand, high biological oxygen demand, high chemical oxygen demand, highly colored, it's alkaline, and it also contains high amount of dissolved solids. Dumping and disposing waste cooking oil into the drains or sewers has a higher potential harmful effect to the environment and also chokes and clogs the municipal sewers, which drastically reduces the efficiency of the wastewater treatment plants. So the motivation of this project to be done is to utilize the waste cooking oil and also to utilize the waste sulfur to synthesize polysulfide from waste cooking oil and waste sulfur to degrade the color of methane blue in wastewater. So the objective is to synthesize polysulfide from waste cooking oil and sulfur via inverse vulcanization method for the treatment of methylene blue. And for the scopes of study, we have varied the type of polysulfide and also the effect of polysulfide dosage. For the type, we have varied three types, which is the 50% sulfur, 50% waste cooking oil, 60% sulfur, 40% waste cooking oil, and 70% sulfur and 30% waste cooking oil. And for the adsorbent dosage, we have varied 1 gram, 2 gram, and also 5 gram. So polysulfide is a long polymer chain which contains the sulfur-sulfur bond when the waste cooking oil cross-link with the sulfur-sulfur bond. So the sulfur-sulfur ring opens and cross-links with the carbon-carbon double bond of the waste cooking oil. That is called the inverse vulcanization method that occurs to synthesize polysulfide. So here we have a few methods to synthesize polysulfide. Reaction of sulfur with metals, reaction of oxide and salts with hydrogen sulfide, and reaction of sulfides with sulfur, and also inverse vulcanization method. So for inverse vulcanization method is the here the diagram below shows the ring opening of the sulfur-sulfur bond. So this, when the ring opens, the waste cooking oil, the carbon-carbon double bond from the waste cooking oil cross-link with the sulfur-sulfur double bond in order to form polysulfide. So for methylene blue, 15% of total world production of dyes is lost during the process of manufacturing into the effluent. And the industries such as textile, leather, papers, and plastics are the main sources that produces dye effluents into the wastewater. So inhalation of methylene blue can cause difficulties of breathing to human being, and also can cause many environmental impacts and also health impacts towards the human. So polysulfide so far has been applied to absorb oil from the oil spill wastewaters, and also to absorb heavy metals such as iron contaminants in the wastewater. So here in this study, we have come up with a very new idea to synthesize polysulfide to absorb color from the effluents of wastewater. So the materials used are sulfur, waste cooking oil, sodium chloride, polysulfide, and the equipments are KIR, XRD, SEM, and UVBs. So the overall methodology of the experiment is to collect waste cooking oil. Then we prepare polysulfide via inverse vulcanization method. Then the polysulfide that has been synthesized is characterized under FTIR, SEM, EDS, and also XRD. If those characterization results has attained our whatever requirements that needs to be accomplished to absorb methylene blue, the application of polysulfide in methylene blue has conducted, and then we characterize the post-treated polysulfide also using the FTIR. So for the synthesis of polysulfide, for the first type, which is the 70% sulfur and 30% waste cooking oil, we have measured 7 gram of sulfur, 2.33 gram of NaCl, and 3 gram of waste cooking oil. And both sulfur and sodium chloride are grounded together using a mortar and pestle. And then the grounded mixture is then added to a beaker and heated at 195 degrees Celsius under continuous stirring of 450 RPM for 10 minutes. This is done to melt the sulfur, which is in a solid form, into a molten state. Then when the sulfur reached the molten state, the mixture was, the waste cooking oil was added to the mixture, and the mixture was stirred continuously for 60 minutes in order for the reaction to occur. So this is the place where the reaction occurs, which is the cross-linking reaction occurs in order to form the polysulfide. Then the formed brown solid is cooled down for 90 minutes, and the cooled polysulfide is then rinsed with deionized water for 30 minutes under 600 rpm stirring. This method is conducted in order to remove the NaCl that was grounded together with the sulfur earlier. NaCl was added into the synthesis of polysulfide in order to increase the porosity of the adsorbent. So then finally the washed polysulfide is dried at 50 degrees Celsius in a vacuum dryer overnight. So next we move to the removal process, which is the adsorption process of methylene blue. So first we prepared a stock solution of 50 milligram per liter, the concentration of the methylene blue. And then we measured 1 gram, 2 gram, and 5 gram of polysulfide from all the 3 types of polysulfide that we vary. And then the measured polysulfide was added to 100 ml of methylene blue solution at 200 rpm. So this is how the adsorption process was done. And the sampling was done every 10 minutes, then followed by every hour for the next 4 hours. And the total sampling time is 5 hours. Then the sampling was done in a microcentrifuge. Then the microcentrifuge was centrifuged for 400 rpm for 4 minutes. Then the centrifuged sample was transferred to a cuvette so that we can record the reading in the UVB spectrometer. So for results and discussion, we have characterization of the synthesized polysulfide, and we have the adsorption results of methylene blue using polysulfide as an adsorbent, and we have the characterization of the post-absorption of polysulfide also. So for the characterization of the synthesized polysulfide, as you can see, this is the result that we obtained from the FTIR analysis. The peak at 3005 centimeter per cube shows the peak of the carbon-carbon double bond and carbon-hydrogen bond stretching. So as you can see, the blue color shows the waste cooking oil peaks, and the other 3 peaks shows the synthesized polysulfide. So as you can see, as the amount of sulfur increases in the synthesized polysulfide, the peak present at the 3005 centimeter per cube is absent. So as you can see here, we have the peak then slowly reduces, then at the peak for PS1, the peak has been completely disappeared. And the peak at 1735 shows the stretching of carbon and oxygen double bond, which is the carbonyl group. So the carbonyl group shows the presence of waste cooking oil in the FTIR analysis. So here we have the XRD diffraction analysis for the synthesized polysulfide. So PS1 is 70% sulfur and 30% waste cooking oil. PS2 is 60% sulfur and 40% waste cooking oil. And PS3 is 50% sulfur and 50% waste cooking oil. So PS1 shows the highest amount of unreacted sulfur. As you can see, the amount of unreacted sulfur is high in PS1 because the ratio of sulfur towards waste cooking oil is high, which is 70% sulfur and 30% waste cooking oil. So the probability we have in PS1 shows the best removal efficiency when the removal process was done, because 70% of sulfur has the highest probability to cross-link with the waste cooking oil, whereas 50% sulfur and 50% waste cooking oil has very less probability to cross-link with the waste cooking oil. Here we have the SEM results of the 3 types of polysulfide that has been synthesized. So as you can, the image shows the porosity of the polysulfide. Here we have the EDS results of the polysulfide that has been synthesized from PS1, from the top image, which is the PS1, PS2, and PS3. As the amount of sulfur decreases, which is the ratio, I'm talking about the amount of sulfur that we initially added in order to synthesize polysulfide. The amount of unreacted sulfur in atomic percentage also reduces. So here we have the results of methylene blue removal. So we have done the adsorption of equilibrium study. This equilibrium was done in order to find the contact time, efficient contact time that was needed in order for the adsorption process to be complete. So from the adsorption of equilibrium, we found out that the maximum contact time that we need was around 5 hours. So the adsorption process completely was done for 5 hours for all the 3 types of dosages, and also all for the 3 types of polysulfides. So for the effect of polysulfide type, we have varied the 3 types of polysulfide, which is the 70% sulfur, 30% waste cooking oil, 60% sulfur, 40% waste cooking oil, and 50% sulfur and 50% waste cooking oil. So the 70% sulfur and 30% waste cooking oil shows the highest removal efficiency, as they have the highest probability to cross-link with waste coating. So we have also studied for the adsorbent dosage, and we varied 3 dosages, which is 1 gram, 2 gram, and 5 gram. And 5 gram shows the highest removal efficiency. And further increase in dosage was not conducted, as 5 gram shows a constant reading after the 4th hour. So that shows 5 gram is the maximum amount of polysulfide that was needed in 100 milliliter of methylene blue solution. So as for the post-removal analysis of polysulfide, we have done the FTIR analysis in order to find out whether the methylene blue has adsorbed or not. So the result shows that methylene blue has adsorbed compared to the previous FTIR peaks, and post-adsorption FTIR peaks has disappeared, and there's less noise in the FTIR analysis, which shows the adsorption process is successful. So as for the conclusion, polysulfide is unique because it is entirely prepared by repurposed waste, which is sulfur, which is a byproduct of petroleum industry, and also used cooking oil, which is also wasted in a very large amount in our country. So sulfur from oil industry is used to make an effective adsorbent for combating the pollution that has been threatening our country, which is the wastewater that has been released to the water source. So here, by synthesizing polysulfide, we have an opportunity to treat the wastewater from the textile industries, leather industries, rubber industries, paper industries, which produces high amount of colored wastewater. So in this project, polysulfide has been fully synthesized based on the characterization that has been conducted. And polysulfide, which has been synthesized from sulfur in waste cooking oil, exhibits good absorption of color removal in methylene blue. And the best type of polysulfide that we obtained from this project is 70% sulfur and 30% waste cooking oil. And the optimum dosage was to be 5 gram in 100 ml of methylene blue solution. So polysulfide can be the best adsorbent to treat colored wastewater, because polysulfide has both the hydrophobic and hydrophilic characteristics, which can go well with the water properties of the wastewater. So that's all from me. Thank you for listening to the project briefing. I hope polysulfide can combat the pollution that caused due to the effluents from industries to treat the color present in the wastewater. Thank you.